Walk into almost any professional pottery studio and you will notice something surprising. You will see buckets filled with clay scraps, trimmings shattered across work tables, bowls of dried clay soaking in water. Even pieces that looked almost finished are sometimes cut off the wheel and tossed into a reclaimed bin. At first, it can seem wasteful. Why would an experienced potter throw away work they have already spent so much time making? The answer is simple. Professional potters don't see recycled clay as waste. They see it as another chance to make something even better. One of the biggest differences between beginners and professionals is knowing when to stop trying to save a piece. A beginner may spend 20 minutes struggling to fix a bowl that become uneven or off center. They keep adjusting it, hoping it will somehow return to the shape they imagined. An experienced potter often makes a different decision. They look at the clay, recognize that it's no longer working, cut it off the wheel, and recycle it without hesitation, not because they failed, but because they know their time is better spent starting again. Clay is one of the few artistic materials that offers this rare opportunity. While it's still unfired, it can be reclaimed, rehydrated, washed, and used again. The material isn't lost. It simply returns to the beginning of its journey. And that freedom changes the way professionals think. They aren't emotionally attached to every piece they throw. They understand that not every pot deserves to be finished. Sometimes the most skilled decision is knowing when to let go. Recycling clay is part of working responsibly. Clay is a natural resource and every scrap has value. The trimmings from a food ring, the leftovers from trimming a ring, or the collapsed cylinder from a practice session can all become tomorrow's mug or bowl. Very little goes into waste in a well-run pottery studio. Perhaps more importantly, reclaiming clay reflects a mindset of continuous improvement. Professionals aren't trying to produce as many pots as possible. They are trying to produce their best work. If a form doesn't feel right, they don't force it. They simply recycle the clay and begin again, knowing the next pot will benefit from what they just learned. In many ways, the reclaimed bucket is one of the most honest places in a pottery studio. It holds mistakes, experiments, practice pieces, and ideas that didn't quite work. But it also holds potential because every lump of reclaimed clay carries another opportunity to become something beautiful and something useful again. So the next time you see a professional recycle a nearly finished pot, don't see it as giving up. See it as confidence. The confidence to let go of something that isn't your best. The confidence to trust your skill well enough to begin again. And the confidence to know that in pottery, starting over is often the fastest path to creating something truly worth keeping. But why do beginners hate reclaiming their piece, most especially if it's their first ever thrown piece?